This message is not for everyone, but if you feel like your life no longer fits the version of you that people expect, if you've been questioning why familiar spaces suddenly feel uncomfortable, why old patterns no longer satisfy, why you feel pulled towards something you can't yet explain, this is for you. You are not losing your mind. You are not being dramatic. You are not too much. You are being called. Something is ending, not because you failed, but because you're being promoted. God is interrupting your comfort to introduce your calling. What feels like separation is actually selection. What feels like delay is divine preparation. If you've felt the shift but couldn't name it, this is heaven giving it language. Now listen carefully. You're not imagining it. This isn't restlessness. This isn't confusion. This isn't you doing too much. Something within you is stirring, quietly, powerfully. Even if your environment looks the same, even if your bank account looks the same, even the people around you haven't noticed a thing, your spirit has shifted. There is a holy awareness rising in you, a gentle but undeniable nudge from heaven, a sacred interruption. This is not chaos. This is construction. God is not dismantling your life. He's rebuilding it from the inside out. And what God does internally always shows up externally, eventually. You've outgrown places that once felt like home. Rooms that once comforted you now suffocate you. Conversations you once enjoyed now feel shallow. Friendships that once felt safe now feel heavy. And you've questioned yourself because of it. Why do I feel disconnected? Why don't I fit the way I used to? Why does everything feel different? It's because you're different. You're not being prideful, you're being refined. You're not rejecting people, you're responding to elevation. This isn't rejection, it's redirection. God never removes without intention. He never distances without design. He never disrupts without destiny in mind. When God begins to move in a woman's life, He doesn't always announce it loudly. Often it starts quietly. Your cravings change. What once excited you no longer satisfies you. Surface-level conversations drain you. Temporary attention no longer tempts you. You crave depth. You crave truth. You crave alignment. Not perfection, but authenticity. Not applause, but purpose. And sometimes that craving feels lonely. But hear this clearly. This isn't sadness. It's sacred transition. God is teaching you to hunger for what feeds your future, not what distracts your past. God is peeling back layers of who you were to reveal who you're becoming. And peeling hurts. It hurts to confront the version of you that survived but didn't heal. It hurts to admit that some of your strength was actually self-protection. It hurts to let go of identities that once kept you safe. But you are not falling apart. You are falling into place. What feels like loss is actually alignment. What feels like exposure is actually freedom. What feels like delay is actually development. Every chosen woman walks through solitude, not because she is rejected, not because she is forgotten, but because she is being prepared. God isolates before He elevates. He conceals before He commissions. Scripture shows us this pattern again and again. Esther was hidden before she was crowned. David was shepherding in obscurity before he was anointed king. Jesus Himself withdrew before stepping into public ministry. Solitude is not abandonment, it's holy focus. In isolation, God removes the noise so He can refine your voice. In silence, He sharpens discernment. In stillness, He heals what applause could never touch. Your silence is not empty, it is holy ground. Yes, there is an ache. the ache of distance, the sting of separation, the grief of realizing some people can't go where God is taking you. But this is not abandonment. This is advancement. God is pruning your life, cutting away what cannot sustain the weight of your calling. And pruning always looks violent to what's being removed, but it's merciful to what's being preserved. Some connections weren't bad, they were just limited. Some doors weren't evil, they were just expired. While no one is clapping, while no one is affirming, while no one sees the work being done, God is healing you in places no one ever reached. The heartbreak you buried, the disappointment you minimized, the rejection you spiritualized, the shame you carried quietly. He is not just healing you to survive, He is restoring you for significance. Because unhealed wounds distort calling, and God refuses to release you broken into places that require wholeness. Your standards are rising, and you've noticed. You no longer tolerate inconsistency. You no longer chase attention. You no longer explain your worth. Half-hearted love doesn't impress you. Inconsistent energy doesn't excite you. Potential without character doesn't move you. You're drawn to purpose, not performance. You seek stability, not stimulation. You want substance, not symbolism. And let this set you free. This is not you being difficult. This is God detoxing your worth. When you finally see yourself the way heaven sees you, you stop negotiating with what dishonors you. God is preparing you for spaces that require boldness, relationships that demand maturity, assignments that need clarity and confidence. So He equips you quietly. Before He unveils your assignment, He exposes every imitation, false friendships, shallow opportunities, empty validation, counterfeit futures. And this is important. Not every loss is an attack. Some losses are mercy in disguise. Some things didn't work because they weren't supposed to. Doors close, messages go unanswered, invitations stop coming, connections fade, and you wonder if you did something wrong. But it's not sabotage, it's sanctification. Who remains after the pruning is meant to walk with you. Who left was never meant to carry your crown. God will not allow people with small vision to influence a future that requires faith. And then the shift begins. Not loudly, not dramatically, but gently. God opens quiet doors. He sends life-giving people. He resurrects dormant dreams. He restores your voice, your vision, your confidence. You begin to trust yourself again. You begin to hear God clearly again. You begin to recognize peace as confirmation. And suddenly you realize everything was training. Every tear watered your future. Every delay developed discernment. Every loss made space for legacy. You didn't stumble into this season. You were summoned. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not ordinary. You are being sculpted by the Creator Himself. This is not random. This is intentional. This is preparation. A crown is near. A calling is unfolding. A chapter is opening. And when it does, you'll look back and whisper, "I see it now, God. Thank you for the process." So breathe. Trust the becoming. Honor the process. Stay faithful in the quiet. Return to this truth when doubt creeps in. If these words found you today, it's because heaven wanted to remind you, you are being prepared, even in places you cannot yet see.